I want you to integrate AI within your business no matter who you are because this is too big of an opportunity to just ignore. In this video, I'm going to show you 7 steps I follow to take any person from an idea all the way to an exitable company. And in this video, I'm going to do it on hard mode. Let's assume you don't have any funding, money, time, personal brand, and even you have a boss that's watching you and does not want you to succeed. In that case, in this scenario, I mean, this is going to be near impossible to do the business, right? So without further ado, let's get into the video. I'm going to discuss to you and show you exactly how I would do it. So let's assume we just have $100 and access to our brain. And this is exactly what I would do to capture this AI wave that is coming, everyone is talking about, and how can I start building within and integrating it within my business. So we're going to discuss 3 things in this video. Point number 1 is the full 7 steps on how to do something with AI in the 6-month window we have. I'm going to explain what I mean by that and what makes Sam Altman's hypothesis come true. I'm also going to explain that in a bit. Point number 2 is how to start even if you have no time, no money, have no clue about what to sell, how to position yourself, what to offer, and even how to use AI, because I see that the big limiting factor where most people don't understand the potential of AI and AI agents and everything that's happening within the AI world. And point number 3 is I'm going to discuss to you the patterns that I've seen with my clients. That's the main limiting beliefs or blockers and how to overcome them in order to utilize AI to its maximum potential. That includes agency owners, done for you service providers, consultants, coaches, educators, and everyone doing anything in the service providing space. We're going to take this even on hard mode. Let's assume you have no personal brand, you have no cash flow, no funding, no access to venture capitalists, VCs, you have no team, you have no time, and you don't want a team, you don't want the headache of a team. Plus, you have a boss that's watching you and waiting to threaten you if you do anything that's going to improve yourself and so on. So, if you have all these factors playing against you, let's take this on hard mode and see what we can do to build our business and utilize AI because we just have 6 months. If you don't know who I am, my name is Adham Alkhaja. I've helped 50 plus businesses in 2023. I've operated space business, got funding for it, grown that business, and done a lot of other businesses. And now I'm working with Siola, and you're going to see exactly how am I planning Siola within all this landscape and everything that's happening with AI. So if you haven't heard, in the past 2 days, there's this interview that came out by the founder of Replit, and he mentioned this. Let's read this out. 1% billion-dollar companies are coming. When software creation becomes free, team sizes become irrelevant, and you can compete with 100% startups using AI, meaning that you can have AI as your employees, which are highly productive, and compete with teams that are 100 plus people teams. And the limiting factor shifts from resources to ideas, which is essentially, as I mentioned, the resource we have, our brain, and the era of solo founders are here. Then you heard OpenAI's founder, which is Sam Altman, mention this. AI will make it possible for one person to build $1 billion company very soon. If these people who have access to a lot of data, a lot of users on their platform, which are building and so on, and they're mentioning such things and putting the repetition online, they have weight to the words they say because they're making an educated guess over here. And you haven't heard there's about Stargate UAE. Let me tell you about Stargate UAE because this is very, very recent, May 22, 2025. After His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed and the President of the United States, Donald Trump, met, this came out on OpenAI's website. You can go check it out. I just want to highlight this point. We are launching Stargate UAE, the first international deployment of Stargate, OpenAI's AI infrastructure platform. I talked about this in previous video. This is also the first partnership under OpenAI's for country. This is at the country level. And this is the first partnership to do it at the country level. Everyone here is speaking that we're going to have ChatGPT Plus for free and so on. And funnily enough, while I was preparing for this video, I searched the news and I wrote Sam Altman UAE just to stay up to date what's happening. I sorted out by date. You can see this news over here saying that Elon Musk threatened to open AI to start data center in the UAE and so on. So I don't know what's happening over there, but essentially there is some action going on in that world. So what I want to make a big claim over here is AI just changed how we work, and I'm going to prove to you how everything has changed with data, evidence, and news and so on, and how can we use everything that's happening or the window that has presented itself right now, the 6-month window, I believe to be, and capture that opportunity in 7 steps, which I'm going to show you. So I come from the investment world, real estate and let's say stocks, bonds, and all that. So there's something called the psychology of a market. Everything starts initially, and don't look at the price here, but everything starts initially as disbelief. Like people see this new news, okay, AI is here. I don't believe this AI will be very beneficial. It's like a new technologies just came to the human society. I don't believe. Then once they see the potential of it and time passes, there's some hope. Then they have belief that this may work for us. We have this big peak of euphoria, which when people say buy the bottom and sell the top, but actually masses do the opposite, is when they enter into euphoria. Then we have anxiety, then we have denial, then we have panic essentially, and then we have anger, depression, and disbelief, and then the cycle continues, and a bigger cycle goes on, and it basically goes in ups and downs. So a very rough estimate of this in terms of the interest. I wanted to combine it with Bitcoin because this is very similar to the Bitcoin, and it's very similar to other things that happened in the past where Microsoft, let's say, and Amazon and everything came. Like we can only look at history and learn from it. We know that it does not repeat itself, but it rhymes in some way or another, and that's the best way we can make an educated guess. So this is just using Google Trends. You can see how AI is picking up, and is similar to what happened here in 2018, 2017, 2016 with Bitcoin. But this is much smaller because it's Bitcoin, one, it's cryptocurrency and so on. But with AI, this is more open for the masses. This was too techy and so on. And you can see how the search terms right now are, and I put this on purpose because you can see that chat gpt, gpt, chat gpt, AI. So the biggest search terms in terms of artificial intelligence is chat gpt related. So people have not reached that awareness, and this is a rough estimate again, that there's AI agents, let's say the masses. There are n8n tools, there's manus AI, there's xyz tool that can help me with other things. So this is what's getting mass adoption with chat gpt, which makes sense. And if we look at the AI 2027 report over here, which I talked about a lot as well, we are somewhere within this range over here. This 2026, which is 6 months from now, today's June 1st, so 6 months from now. And I believe this to be the golden opportunity or window we have, which is this part over here. So we still did not reach the euphoria stage where the masses come in, they understand what AI is, they're implementing it. Even the person down the street is implementing it. Even your barber's using some sort of AI beyond ChatGPT and so on. So that's where the most money is made if you're over here and you do something about it and you just stand in front of the wave and capture it no matter what it is you do. So I believe we are somewhere here and we're going to go all the way to euphoria, and this may get down to the peak and then can capitulate here and then go higher and so on. And this has changed how work is done, and we can very much relate it and go study these use cases because they're going to be very beneficial to looking at market trends and so on. And if you just are wondering, what do I know about all of this? I've been in Bitcoin and all these things and stocks and so on at a very, very young time. That's almost 10 years back. I've been into Bitcoin. I got Bitcoin for $900 per Bitcoin. Today's $104,000. That's almost 104x what it was in 10 years. The earlier are, the higher the risk, yes, because the Bitcoin was what is this scam thing and so on, and the higher reward you can have today. So this is just one example, and I don't want to take the cryptocurrency part. I know that the sentiment of that and so on, but I want you just to understand it as a case study or use case in terms of where we are and where we're headed. That's point number one I'm trying to make here. And when I say work has changed, what do I mean by work has changed? Work essentially means you're selling your time, you're putting effort and time to get more money. And we know this big messaging or positioning that many coaches are having, this lifestyle kind of coaching business where you don't sell your time, don't sell your time, sell leverage, and all these fancy words they use. Nobody wants to sell their time. And freelancers, coaches, consultants, service providers, agency owners, and all this, essentially, they are selling their time. And when they're doing work for other people, they're spending time to do the work and they're selling their time. No matter what the price is, for example, someone would say, no, I'm just doing 5 hours of work per day. Yes, you're selling your time, but because you're charging higher prices, yes, because you have the authority, but you're still selling your time. And a common pattern I've seen with my clients is that I want to productize myself. I want to not be involved into the day to day so I can scale this because I only can take on 5 clients right now. I feel burnt out because I'm too in the business and I'm not working on the business. These are common patterns I've seen by my clients, and I'm just pointing it out for you. And to take this even further in terms of how the landscape looks and so on, this is very new by Zapier. I think it was yesterday. Yes, it was yesterday, where they said we're setting a new standard at Zapier. 100% of new hires must be fluent in AI. And then they have these positions where, for example, a people position, people business partner, or a support position, manager global support, central or whatever time zone. They want them to be fluent in AI. So you think, does AI have to do with people and so on? But it's a requirement now because they see things we're not seeing. So I talked about Shopify as well, Fiverr as well. All these people are saying that you need to know AI if you want to get hired at these places. And I just expect more and more people to make this a Microsoft Word level requirement where you need to know Microsoft Excel to get hired. This is going to be AI, which is a new thing. So this is for the landscape of what's happening. And I just want to make a statement over here. Given the landscape I've told you and the market trends and everything that's happening, of course, there are a lot of more factors to this. But for me, I'd rather publicly fail in front of the whole world and be put on a pedestal for the next 2 years telling me, look at this person, how he failed, than do nothing about AI. And that's how big this golden opportunity that I'm mentioning is. I'd rather be publicly fail. This is very important and put everything on the line. So if you're convinced with this, you're most probably asking, Edham, okay, great, amazing. But how do I start with all this? What do I do? Like, where do I start with all this? Very good question, because this is exactly what I want to show you next, which is the steps that I used to build 3 of my businesses in the past. I'm going to take you through the steps starting from absolute zero to exiting your company. I want you to understand with these steps is what AI is capable of. And I want you to see the gap in any market you look at, because most people that I've seen have noticed, even they mention AI, ChatGPT, I use ChatGPT every day, or these tools every day, they don't have a clue on how powerful AI is, and not just at an automation level, but how powerful this intelligence that we add to dumb software is. And if you're saying, okay, Adham, also amazing, that's great, but I have no network, I have no audience, I'm very new to this, I don't know how to position myself. I've done marketing in the past, I've done SNA, I've done some freelancer work, I've done some e-commerce work, drop shipping, whatever, but I don't have any idea how to do this. I'm very new to the market. We're going to talk about that. And the third thing, which is a realization I've seen from my clients, is the limiting belief that you may come with right now. If you're doing a lot of labor intensive work or done for you work, you're going to be asking yourself, okay, if I'm going to do a consulting type of offer, or I'm going to do this way, or or if I'm going to use AI to productize and not me putting my time in, but AI doing the work, will people pay for this? And what will the guarantee for this be? And what if they don't get the results? Because I'm not actually doing the work here and putting my time in. So I don't know if they're going to get the results or not. What do I do about that? We're going to discuss all of that. That being said, let's get started with the steps over here. This is a very important slide, or illustration over here, because this is going to set the tone for everything. You must understand, within the market we're entering right now, or this new economy market with AI coming in and so on, there is going to be three different buyers. And this is how I look at them based on my experience, because I've done SMMA in the past, I've done marketing in the past, I had a marketing agency, I've run a full tech company and startup in the past and got funding for that and took and scaled that to multi-million dollars as well. But now I want to tell you, this is how I'm seeing the AI market, or the three segments in the AI market. And a very important point is to not mix them up, because what I see, and big mistake I see, people selling SaaS to agency buyers, or selling different products to different buyers over here. So the first part is the SaaS buyer. These are people you see on X, Reddit, and all these platforms going on Lovable and saying, I'm gonna build a micro SaaS for myself, and one day I'm gonna sell it because I want to make a certain amount of revenue. This is very easy to do, and I'm gonna vibe code my way to the product or the service that I want to build out, the SaaS I want to build out. And essentially, these buyers who come towards these services or SaaS, they say that, amazing, I want to save my time, I want to automate some stuff, and I just want you to give me the tools, and I'm going to do it my own because I like doing things myself. And these people don't pay more than $97 per month, and they're usually freelancers, individuals, and small businesses. So if you build out a SaaS and you want to sell it to agency buyers, which have different requirements, let's say governmental entities, you may go through. I mean, there are outliers and rare cases, but you're not going the easy route here. You're going the high friction route, and I don't recommend you to mix between these two products. The second side of the spectrum, these are not a lot of people, by the way, and the second side of the spectrum, which are not a lot of people as well, which let me make this point as well. So for the SaaS buyers, you need high volume in order to make good amount of money. If you have two people paying you $9 per month, amazing, you have clients, but you're just making $18 per month, which does nothing in this economy. So for agency buyers over here, they say, okay, we have the tools, we have the systems, we have the money, we have the processes, and we just need customization for whatever we have because we know our competitor can pay for customization, but we want to have an edge. So optimize the process we have using AI and customize it for me, and I'm going to pay you the money for that. This is exactly their language and what they want, and this is best for large businesses, corporates, and governmental entities. But the majority of people that you're going to sell to are somewhere in the middle. And this is where it's going to be extremely profitable. And where my focus is right now. You can have these on the side, and I wouldn't recommend you transition between each of these. I'd tell you focus on this until you have the capacity, then transition to other people. You can even stay at this part. So system buyers are essentially people saying that I don't have time for all of this. I want to focus on what I do. I'm an expert in XYZ, and I want you just to come in and give me this system so I keep on getting this outcome I want. And very important note, these people, they want customized solution, but they pay like SaaS buyers. So they want custom solutions because they believe their business is different than everyone else, but they can't afford a custom solution. So that's why the pricing over here is around $97 to $999 per month. And this is best for small businesses, medium businesses, and so on, and sometimes can bleed into agency buyers and so on. So this is essentially you understanding the landscape and the three types of people that exist within the marketplace. Once you have that jotted down and you know exactly who you're going to target, there's no right and wrong, by the way. You can target anyone you want, but the easiest for now, and this can change with time, is here because this is going to be a commodity very, very soon. So moving on to the second point, which is I'd suggest you skip this part if you know something, you have expertise, you have experience in a certain skill or task. I'd suggest you skip this part. So the second point is one, choose something boring and annoying, and two, systemize that boring or annoying thing. Some ideas are, for example, onboarding system for lawyers. Once a lawyer gets payment, they need to send an email, they need to onboard the client, they need to do XYZ things. So that kind of system is a system that you can sell using AI, or LinkedIn system that closes deals, or AI workflows for a consultant for a particular task. And what I'd suggest you do if you have no clue or no idea what you're doing is charge 2,000 to 5,000 a one-time fee, get that job done for them, and you're essentially getting paid to learn over here. And this is a lot of manual work, by the way. Is you're going to do the work, and it's going to be annoying, and you're going to accept annoying clients in this case because you have no clue what you're doing, and it's going to drain your soul. You're going to have headache nightmare clients. But if you do it 5 times, you're going to start seeing patterns. You're going to start seeing the same questions, the same bottlenecks, and the same excuses. Once you see that, then you can graduate into the next step. But for now, if you're at this stage that you have no clue what you're going to do, you don't know what the client wants, what the needs are, what the pain points are, I'd highly suggest you stay at this point over here. Once you know the exact pattern or the same questions and bottlenecks, by the way, this is exactly how I've run my businesses. I'm not telling you something new or theory or whatever. This is exactly how I did it. Then I'd start increasing prices and I'd pivot to a more scalable business. So what stops people at this stage where they have no clue what to do? They say, but I don't want to do something not scalable. I don't want to sell my time. I'm doing it my job. But this is how you start because you have no clue. This is how you learn and how you get paid to learn. So once you get that right, you graduate until the next level. And this is where you start seeing the power of AI. So what I'd suggest you do after 5 clients is you start document every single thing that you have and imagining as if you have a 30-person team waiting for you to tell them exactly what to do step by step because you're the subject matter expert over here. And then slowly get AI to actually replicate these small tasks and do the task for you. So I'd use Google Docs, write down all the SOPs you have. For example, if I want to do client delivery and do web design, I'm going to say, first go on Figma, then on Figma, do this design, then send the client an email for feedback, then. Like, write all down all the steps. And then you take an AI agent and an 8N or any tool you use, which is going to be your actual team, feed it this document and build out the workflow using intelligence and AI and make it do 90% of the task for you. And that's going to be your next 30 days plan. Once that's done, you graduate to the next level, which is letting the world know you exist. So I'd do three things in this case. I'd choose one short form platform, one long form platform, and one email marketing platform, which I called it M in this case because of lack of letters. But for short form platforms, I would not go all in. I know many people and gurus tell you go post 60 times on every single platform until you make it. I've done that. Go check my socials. I've done that for a couple of years as well. I got nowhere with that. Once I became laser focused on one platform, made that work, and then shifted to other, that's how it worked for me. So either choose X, LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever it is for your short form. For long form, you can use Apple Podcasts, you can use Spotify if you like audio, or YouTube, exactly what I'm doing with this video as well. And for your marketing platform, people use MailChimp, Beehive, Kit, which was initially ConvertKit, and so on. I use Kit. So you can choose whatever tool you want over here. And I wouldn't focus, as influencers or personal branding gurus tell you, on content pillars, but more of context pillars. And what do I mean by context pillars? So you're building here SOPs on Google Docs, right? So you have context, or you're building context around what you do. So you want to translate and transfer that to the audience as well at a very minimalistic level, showing that this is exactly what I do. I'm just building context to my audience, to the world online, that this is exactly what I'm doing. So if you're interested in working for me, this is exactly what you're going to get. So I'm just documenting essentially my journey and what I'm doing. And just to, since we're doing this on a hard mode, let's assume your boss is watching you. So don't sell in public. I don't sell in public, even though I don't have a boss, but I don't sell in public, give everything for free in public, but sell in private. You want people to tell you, and this is what a comment I got as well. What do you sell exactly? Like, I don't get what you sell. I see your videos on YouTube. I see a link over there that's to your newsletter, to email, but I don't know what you sell. So, very important point, and it closed a lot of people for me as well. Give free in public, sell in private. Very important point. And this is just a plug. If you want to be sold to at any point, click on the link below and sign up to the newsletter. And at some point in life, I'm going to make you an offer. Once this is locked in, you have your 30 days planned, SOPs, and the actual team going on, and you're getting your content out, and this is working, and the leads are flowing in, then you can start using AI employees. So 90% of the task of content coming in that's getting you the leads, and everything that's being done in terms of client delivery will be done using AI employees, using AI machines. So you're going to get those SOP Google documents. You're going to use, for example, just this is just an example. You can do it for anything you want. For example, content creation. You can use OpenAI for content drafts. What I did today is I went to Google Trends. I exported all the keywords. I went to vidIQ. I exported all the keywords for YouTube. I took a couple of transcripts from the call I had with my clients, put that in ChatGPT, and told them, look at the search volume, look at what my clients are saying. I want more people like this, and look at what Google is saying, look at what the news is saying, and now give me top 10 content pieces to create. So this is just an idea of what you could do. So OpenAI content drafts, Manus, you can use it for research and tasks. Anthropic is really good for tone and style. Now with Claude 4 and Opus coming out, I think it's not that much better than OpenAI. So OpenAI can do the job, but you still can use Claude and Anthropic for the MCP triggers and whatnot. They have their certain kind of ecosystem going on. So what I look at in this case is onboarding, client success, meetings, scheduling, email drafts, responses, and anything that would get me to that 90% of the job being done by AI employees and not by me. This is where you're going to achieve productization, systemization, and you're going to beautify this whole process by building client dashboards for a dashboard by yourself and beautified front end using Lovable or Bolt or any other tool, and using NA10 for the back end, where eventually you're going to make 12 hours of work into 30 minutes of work. And once that's done, you're going to graduate to the next level. And the next level is scale. You don't scale from day one, you scale over here, because now you know what works. You have systems in place, you have everything in place, you have your clients going on. Let's assume you just have 5 to 10 clients right now. So now it's time to scale. So what you're going to do next is you're going to take this to 50 clients, because now 90% of the work is being done by AI employees, and you can make it even more than 90%. So what you're going to be focusing on when you're scaling is more research and understanding the client, better quality of work and delivery, and you're going to be getting more referrals, more lifetime value, and more money, essentially, because you're doing a great job. Everyone is happy. You've put every system into place and so on. You have proof, right now of internal operations. Everything works now. And just to go back to the example of your boss watching and so on, and this is where you can quit, because now at this time you're most probably making 3 to 5 times your salary. So you can tell your boss, I just quit because I have this thing going on. So once you do that and you go all in on the business, you're going to start noticing that, okay, now I have 50 clients. The service is not the product that I'm selling anymore. It's the proven system that I'm selling. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna jump into Lovable, Superbase, Windsurf, and you're gonna attach Stripe to it, and you're gonna do all the things that's around it, and you're gonna move. Let's go back to this figure over here, from system buyers to SaaS buyers, and somewhere in between, which is you're gonna take the price that you already charge people for your service, and you're going to charge 1/10 of that price, whatever you've been charging. Let's assume for this case $200 per month, and you're going to give the dashboard to them and the SOPs running in the back end, which the SOPs, the AI employees you just built, and this to them looks like this advanced SaaS software that you just developed, is particularly for them, that has a lot of coding and whatnot, but it's just your SOPs being run by AI agents and AI employees. So it's a very simple thing, but it looks very heavy and people want it. So then you start even scaling further, and you go full on focusing on audience building. So you thought that audience comes at the first, audience comes here as well. You're going to go on this Batman Joker domination arc. You're going to have two objectives over here, which are going to be your North Star, to be the very, very best in your market and be the most expensive in your market as well. This is, even though you're not there today, even though you're not there at this stage as well, if you just put that as a North Star, you're going to operate at that level and achieve that level in a short amount or period of time. And this is the milestones you go through. This is part of the Ciola offer as well. This is what I take my clients through, but your milestones would be $10,000, 20,000, 40,000, 60,000, 80,000, 100,000, plus, 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 whatever it is that comes back after that. And this comes back to the point that you're still doing everything solo. You haven't hired. You can hire people, of course. I'm not telling you don't hire anyone. You can if you're comfortable, but you can do this solo as well. So once you've got to this point, you went all in on YouTube, uploading YouTube every single day, which is something you're gonna see me doing very soon. Uploading YouTube videos every single day, posting content everywhere, and so on. You're gonna get people to watch you. You're going to get people to notice your work ethic, how much you're present, what are you doing, documenting your journey. You have this 100-day runway of content every single day, showing up consistently and showing your progress and updates. And 1 year later of you doing that, you may get an email or a phone call by a big SaaS company saying, we've been watching, we've liked what you've done so far, we'd like to know more, show us your details, and so on. You get interested at this case, you show them the margins you have, the finances, the growth, the potential that you have, the revenue you've been making, how fast you've been growing, and so on. And they offer you a deal, which is saying we're gonna offer you $12,500,000 for your or this company that you've built out for everything. Are you ready to exit or not? So you just have to accept or reject the offer that you just got in 365 days, where 365 days before this, you was at your job, scared that your boss is gonna fire you if he sees you posting content about something that you want to build or a business that you want to build out. And at this point, you have three options. You're gonna accept it and get $12.5 million. You have a success exit story, and you can say, okay, now I can build this again. You can keep it going and make the revenue and increase the enterprise value, or you can make 10 more companies using this exact playbook that you just saw, which is this line over here, taking you all the way back, as you see on the bottom, to step number one, telling you, okay, now something else is there. You have the confidence, you've proven it to yourself, and now it's time to go again and build another business in a faster way. And you have all the potential to do whatever you want because you've proven it to yourself. The first objection you may have is, Adham, these tools hallucinate. I don't find them reliable at all, and I don't know what to do if that's the case. I agree with you. It's a very valid point, and these tools are fragmented. You need to use a couple of tools to get a certain outcome. But this will not be the case in 6 months' time. And you answer this question. Are you more ready if you start today or if you start when the tools are ready and a bunch of people already have that first mover's advantage and actually understand how everything works? To be honest with you, I mean, you can have a lot of objections when you're going to go through this path, but I don't think we had any much more time to wait or to actually experiment or think about it because we just have 6 months. And as I told you, I am ready to publicly fail in front of everyone and just start because there is no time and we're in a very time sensitive window.